To be an elite climber and one of the best in the entire world, there's this essence that they all share. It's almost like a fire that they get in their eyes when they pull onto the wall. Rock climbing is very, very difficult. It's not comfortable. It hurts your fingers. It's very physical, muscular speaking. You have to really dig into some really, really difficult situations. But the thing that separates elite climbers from people that are just kind of all right at it is they don't let go. And it sounds simple, but they get this fire that's inside of them where they are struggling, but it only makes them try harder. I kind of feel like I have almost two sides to my career. My main passion is route setting, putting holds and routes on the wall for people to come in and climb on and challenge themselves on that I get to create and then discuss with them about their experience. The other side of me, however, is the coach. I coach about a dozen of the best athletes in the entire country. They're all nationally ranked athletes, youth competitive climbers. As a route setter, it's very interesting, especially as a competitive route setter, setting for these championship level competitions. Your goal is to trick the athletes and to set these routes that most people fall on and that they do not succeed on. On the contrary, the coach side of me wants to take these athletes and train them to be smarter than the route setters, to trick the route setters right back and to succeed on the routes that they're setting for these athletes. So when I get to work with my team and I get to train them, I'm almost taking myself out of my own body and trying to be better than myself. What can I tell these kids that will prepare them for what setters like myself are going to throw at them? When I got into climbing, the thing that drew me to it the most, especially about route setting, is I could create something that someone else gets an experience on. That was the main thing that drew me, that I really, really love about route setting, is the fact that it's a communal experience. It's not just for me to perform for someone else. It's for me to get to create something that other people have an experience on as well. I have spent years perfecting my craft as a route setter for competitions. I have traveled all over the country setting competitions all the way through championship levels in order to test the best climbers on routes that I design. I've been route setting for almost 10 years now. I started climbing when I was 11 years old. With Boy Scouts, as a matter of fact. I don't ever see myself living someplace where it's cold. The interesting thing about climbing and indoor climbing is it has these hubs around the country. One, if not the most important, biggest hub is Boulder, Colorado. But 6 months out of the year, it gets pretty cold. And living in California, where I get to see the sun every day and walk outside in a t-shirt and stand under a palm tree and just kind of be warm and have this energy that I'm by the beach, it's something that I would never trade. I don't ever see myself leaving a state that's surrounded by the beach and the sun. I moved to California about 10 years ago, and I decided that getting a job at a climbing gym would be a really cool day job. As I kind of discovered that there's more to the sport of indoor climbing than outdoor climbing, I kind of fell in love with route set. Over the last 10 years, I've trained in those skills. As the industry has grown, as more gyms have started, there have become more opportunities for route setters to travel and make an actual living out of this. About 8 years ago, about 2 years into my route setting, I took a USA Climbing Level 1 certification, which enabled me to set for national competitions. And then most recently, in January of this year, I attained my Level 3 setting certification, which allows me to set at the national level. I'm at the point now where I can kind of apply myself and train for that, and then hopefully get the opportunity one day to travel to nationals as a route setter, not just as a coach. There are 5 levels within USA Climbing. Level 4 means you've successfully set a national level event, and then level 5 means you can host or chief those national level events and then begin to teach other route setters. It's a very, very physical job, hauling these giant holds around, standing on ladders, holding things over your head. We always joke and say we're a hipster construction crew. We're artists that are doing all of this physical labor work. Indoor climbing is growing super, super quickly. It is going to be included in the 2020 Olympics as a full medal sport, so that has had a lot to do with the quick growth that our sport has seen. Climbing gyms are popping up in every city across the entire country, and people are piling into these climbing gyms to try climbing for the first time, and they're never leaving these climbing gyms, and they're getting addicted to our sport, which is fantastic. Rock climbing is very, very difficult. It's not comfortable. It hurts your fingers. It's very physical, muscular speaking. You have to really dig into some really, really difficult situations. Climbing is 99% failure. In an indoor setting where we're changing the routes every single day. Every time you come into my climbing gym, there's a new climb for you to try. There's a new challenge. And for me, that's what's going to be most interesting about watching climbing on the Olympics. But to really take it to that next level, you have to put in that extra level of work, and you have to have that fire inside of you. When going gets tough, you only try harder. My training is a blend of high intensity lifting as well as some cardio. The main thing that people might notice when they watch me work out is I don't work with the heaviest weights in the gym. Rather than working with super, super heavy weights in a low rep situation, I'll tend to pick lighter weights and work in the 15 to 50 rep range. When you're climbing, you have a moment where you feel like you're just exhausted and you can't go anymore. But being able to push through that and know what it feels like to really have that pump in your muscles and that burn, but continue to go and know you're only halfway there, and really fight and train your mind as well as your body to work under those stressful situations. Supplementation and nutrition has been something that I've studied for as long as I can remember. It's something that I've always been fascinated by, not always from the healthiest standpoint. I was always curious about, when I got involved with TrueSeed, the thing that I noticed most is every single one of their products is completely different than anything else on the market, giving my body the most natural and healthy options. Mentally helped me feel better, physically helped me feel better. And then as soon as I tried the H2, it was life-changing for me. Now it's something that I use every single day throughout the entire day. I couldn't go one day without taking my H2 tablets during my climbing sessions, during my workouts, especially after my workouts at the end of my day. It's just become a habit that has actually helped me perform at a level that I never thought was possible. I hope that I'll never stop climbing. I'm sure as I get older, my body will change, and I'm hoping to take care of my body with proper nutrition and recovery and supplementation to be able to climb for as long as I can. So at my age now, I foresee, another 30 years or more of setting competitions and building myself up. So I'm in no hurry to get to that level 5 point. I just kind of want to take my time and enjoy the process and learn as much as I can, so I can hopefully one day be one of the best route setters that anyone could have on a crew.